We have Miss Susan Bratton on the mic. She is an intimacy expert to millions. She is talking to us all about intimacy and how to enhance your sex life with your partner, especially if you're a high performer, especially if you're a busy professional. This is for you. We're diving in.
Do you want blissful balance in your personal and professional life? Great. What's up, guys? My name is Carrie Jack, and I want to help you happy hustle a life you love, one full of passion, purpose, and positive impact. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur, a professional model / actor, a digital marketing specialist, a podcast host, author, a biohacker, an eco-warrior, a martial artist, a hippie cowboy, and a humanitarian. My goal is to educate, inspire, and entertain you to live a life of passion, purpose, and positive impact. It is time to happy hustle your dream reality. Yee-yee. All right, Susan Bratton, my friend, welcome back to the Happy Hustle podcast.
I love that kind of growly intro. All right. That sounded like there's a little bit of a line happening inside Carrie Jack today.
Oh, man. This is going to be a fun one, Susan, as always, because you are a happy hustler. That is for damn sure. You are the co-founder and CEO of two companies, Personal Life Media, and you are the CEO of a sexual regenerative therapies company, the 20 LLC. You're an intimacy expert to millions, a champion advocate for all of those who desire intimacy and passion their whole life. And you're really here to talk to us about transforming just having sex into, having like intimacy and really going deep with your partner. And especially if you're a high performer, an entrepreneur, a busy professional, like this is for you. This is how you can make more time, make more love, and just connect deeper to your partner or partners, plural. So I hope, and I know I didn't even do you justice because you have like 44 different books and programs and you've been featured on every news media outlet. But we'll do a more extended intro, for the audio version. But regardless, Susan, I'm so grateful to have you. And I'm so excited to talk to you about this topic of sex. And it's something that really makes life so much more enjoyable. Yet a lot of people aren't having it at the frequency or at the quality that they desire. Before we get into all that good, juicy stuff, Susan, I always like to ask, what is something interesting about yourself that not too many people know?
Ooh, Jesus. So that's a big list, Carrie. I don't know. My God. Something people don't know about me. I kind of tell everybody everything because I feel like I want to model the possibility of having incredible sex. But I guess one thing that's happening for me right now is that I have a husband, a boyfriend, and a girlfriend. And that's been really fun lately. I've been married to Sir Tim this month. It'll be 30 years. We're celebrating our 30th wedding anniversary in a couple of weeks.
Wow.
And
congrats.
we've had an open relationship for 17, 18 years of that. So longer than we've been monogamous.
Wow.
And we've gone through a lot of permutations of what that's like and what our boundaries and rules and needs and requests are. But lately I have just been in this kind of a big sexual growth phase. And I've actually been in a really steady sexual growth phase since I was about 42. I always liked sex, but I never had good sex until my 40s. And in my 40s, I started learning how to have sex and it got really good. And that's ultimately why my husband and I ended up founding Personal Life Media and publishing passionate lovemaking techniques, because we were going to these workshops and realizing that, oh God, we were having very mediocre sex, very, for me, unsatisfying, for him, marginally satisfying because I wasn't satisfied. And, as soon as we started kind of studying sexuality and taking workshops and things, our sex life got so hot that after a while we were like, we should have sex with some more people. This is really good. And so we started doing that. And we've been navigating the kind of poly open paradigm for a couple of decades. And just about, I'm going to say maybe like almost a year ago, I thought to myself, I really just want to have a few more lovers. I like my husband and I like my boyfriend and they're fantastic. And I have a really good time with them both together and separately. But I think I would like to have some more experiences with more people, but I don't want to have experiences where I have to text them every day or they're like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. I just want to have but I don't want to have unconscious empty sex either.
Yep.
And this is really leading into our topic, which is how to keep your sex life getting better your whole life long and how to fit it in when you're a busy CEO. I'm a CEO of 2 companies. I'm busy. My husband is busy. So what do you do to make sure that you have good sex? What do you do to make sure you have sex? What do you do to have good sex? How do you have your sex keep getting better? How do you have your sex nurture your creativity and your power and your vitality? How do you have it give you all that? And how do you have it keep you young? That's the most important thing too, is that your sexuality is a very, very important part of your longevity. There was this study that I saw recently of 2,500 people were shown pictures of human beings between the ages of 18 and 80 and asked to guess their age. And there was this particular group of people that all the people guessed as being about 10 years younger than their actual age. And the researchers called these the super young, and they tried to figure out what was the correlation between all these people because they were very different in every dimension. And it turned out the single thing they all had in common after they did this exhaustive kind of questioning was that these were the people who were having intimacy 3 times a week.
Oh, interesting.
They were basically making sure that they had intimate connection. And in the research, they called it sex, but I very specifically didn't say the word sex because when I say sex to people, they think intercourse. And I want to make that point very strongly because as we have this conversation today about how you can keep having really great, let's call it sex, I want to expand what sex looks like because it's actually the intimacy that creates the endocrine cascade that keeps you feeling vital and looking young and feeling powerful and basically keeps your creative juices flowing, makes you feel like you're a hot piece of ass. And when you feel like you're a hot piece of ass, you kick ass.
Yeah.
Right?
Amen.
I mean, you really do. When you feel sexy, you just are a higher performing individual. So the thing that a lot of people don't know about me is, that I have these relationships. And the interesting thing about it is that the other men besides my husband and boyfriend that I have relations with, we have super safe sex. We really pay attention to STIs. And that's the number one thing, is keeping each other safe. And then the number 2 thing is that it creates variety and novelty for me because the formula for hot sex is 2 things. This plus this equals desire and hot sex. Number 1 is trust and safety. Number 2 is variety and novelty. You have to have the dangers sitting on the platform of safety. And so the STI piece of it, for people who want to have a really good sex life and for your viewers and listeners who are in a long-term monogamous relationship, everything else I say is going to be applicable to them. But for those of your listeners who are solo, currently and maybe dating or have multiple partners, I think understanding how important trust and safety are and STI management is really important. So I'll point your listeners and viewers to betterlover.com is one of my websites. It's got a couple hundred videos on it. And there's some videos on there about how to have the safe sex talk, when to have the safe sex talk, what STI tests to get. Because you should always get a full panel of STI tests before you have sex with a new person. If you're going to have like a partnership with them and you don't want to wear a condom and you want to be fluid bonded and you want to, sex is a very wet thing. So, if you want to have really good sex, that's a nice approach. It's just a safe approach. So I think the thing that I've been doing is I really wanted to have some experiences that I wasn't going to have with my everyday partners. And I wanted to have experiences with female partners as well as male partners. And so that's been really fueling me because in a way, sexuality is my muse. It is really the thing that fires all my cylinders up. And I can't think of anything more exciting than absolutely incredibly passionate, completely comfortable, very abandoned, very heart connected, highly orgasmic, super fun sex.
Yep.
And that's really what I want to talk about is how to make sex so fun that it fuels you and that your partners are calling you up or getting on your calendar to sleep with you because you embody certain mindsets and capabilities that they can't find anywhere else.
Wow. Preach it. I love it. That's starting things off with a bang, Susan. Pun intended. And I am, and I'm just really, first of all, interested in like the trust and safety component, because I think that's where a lot of people go awry. Like you mentioned, that plus novelty equals desire. And I think that would be a really great place to start for everyone out there. It's applicable. It's just, you have to have that trust and safety. If your partner doesn't feel that, they're not going to be open to sharing their body or their mind or any type of deep connection. So what can we do to cultivate that trust and safety with our partners more so?
Well, I think I want to take the approach because I want to skip along to a lot of things on this particular segment. So I don't want to go, I want to go a mile wide and an inch deep today with you because the thing about sex is that if sex were a brand, its tagline would be sex. There's always something more.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
so what I'll do is I'll just drop a lot of other places your fans can go to go deeper into anything that I touch on. I think that's really important. Just like I did with the STIs. It's like,
for sure,
that to me is the single biggest thing. The second thing that I'll say is I think that the tack we should take in this particular episode together, and this is our second episode too, which is great, is that I want to do it from the perspective of giving penis owners, let's call them male-bodied partners, the advice, and your vulva owners who are listeners, because I know you're probably about 65, 35 or something like that. They can hear what I'm going to tell the guys and they can ask for these things. So I think that's really one of the things. So when we talk about how do you create safety, which allows for surrender to your pleasure, that's what we really want to do is we want to surrender to the pleasure so that when you're together, you are co-creating this incredible experience. I'm holding up this silly little thing. This is a DNA spiral that I just recently got.
Nice.
It's a little stuffed toy, and it's actually a spiral of DNA. It looks like two snakes curling up together with little eyes on the top. That's when I think about super hot sex. This is what I have in my mind, like twin flames, candles that have swirled up together, or the DNA spiral, the DNA helix. I think about it. I visualize a helix because I want both people to be lifting each other up and totally swirling around each other in this connected way that is your heart is connected to your penis. For women, it's very easy. Our heart and our vulva are basically on the same channel. But for our male-bodied partners, a lot of times they're in performance mode. And so they're doing instead of being. You can't do and get into the spiral, the upward mutual pleasure spiral. You have to surrender to the moment and get out of your strategic head and get totally present, which by the way, really helps with performance anxiety, which is men's number one issue. Most men struggle with not lasting as long as they want, not staying as hard as they want. And most men think that they have to stay hard the whole time. And so they're always trying to think about how to do that. And they worry. And really, for most men, the normal pattern is go hard, get soft, go hard, get soft, go hard, get soft, go hard, because you want to be in a lovemaking experience that lasts for as long as you want it to, because it keeps getting better and better and better. So it's not like the old style of sex is grab a boob and stick it in. And I want to move out of this idea of foreplay and intercourse, because that is a patriarchal, old school religiosity strategy. Mm-hmm. Sex is for procreation only. So the only thing that matters is intercourse. If you have that as your orientation, like I can't wait to get inside her, she knows it, and she's not going to want to have sex with you because you're constantly rushing her, because you get an erection really fast. Men have something called fast acting hemodynamics. And you get fast moving blood, especially high performance men who are in good physical shape and who are really out there and pushing all the time, right? You're just like, let's go. Yeah. And you get a lot of testosterone, baths of testosterone. And if you're healthy, you've got nighttime erections, you've got morning wood, you get erections during the day. You want that. That's what keeps your penis from being atrophying in contractive states. You want a lot of hard-ons, and you want them to come a lot. That's a good sign. You want to get that thing filling up all the time. But the problem is that that's no friggin' miracle. You should be able to do that whenever you want to. And that comes from healthy living, healthy eating, good lifestyle, good nutrition, good sleep, keeping your stress down, etc. And so you got to work on those things to have that. Plus, I'm the peen queen, right? I teach men how to use a penis pump to reverse atrophy. Do you know that about me?
I do.
Yeah, pretty much everybody knows that about me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, go ahead. I mean, I think, I'm just to your point. So a couple things, just as I think about the happy hustlers out there, like digesting all of this, one things that I really want to take and just extract. So it takes women a lot longer to get aroused than men, stereotypically, right? And this is like, I think difficult for a lot of high performers to understand. Like, we can turn it on like that. Women, it needs, it needs to take time, and you need to be present and get away from the doing, the result driven mindset to more so the present moment. And I just think that right there alone, if you take nothing else away, which of course it's going to be impossible for you to do that because Susan is a goddess in this realm, truly. And I think that alone, like, slow down, be present, and just like actually recognize what your partner needs. So that's just my little caveat. Let's keep going though with this whole rev up stage.
Yeah. Well, I've got another visualization for your guys and for your women too. This is very important. People don't know this, but if you imagine a penis and I'm going to get to how this relates to her turn on. If you imagine a penis as a banana, and your penis, actually 50% of it sticks out of your body as an erection, but 50% of it goes inside your body. Your penis is actually twice as big as you think it is, which is kind of nice. And it goes down and towards your testicles. The whole inside of that banana is erectile tissue. And if I opened the banana and peeled it back and took all that erectile tissue out, and I turned it into a circle with a point on the top, and then I peeled back the skin of her vulva and put it inside there, I would wrap around her vaginal canal. It would wrap around and it would come to a point where her clitoris is. But underneath all that external tissue, underneath the outer labia, the inner labia, between the clitoral hood, the mons, the clitoral hood, the clitoral tip, the opening to the vulva, which is called the vestibule, all the way around that, including below her vagina in the perineal sponge, there's a sponge in there, is as much erectile tissue as a male penis, and double the size of your penis to imagine how big. And the issue is that hers is nooks and crannies that take a while for her to get filled with blood, where you've got these 3 chambers that are just straight shots that fill super fast. That's your fast acting hemodynamics. And so the biggest issue to get women to want to have frequent sex with you is a couple of things. The first is, number one, slowing way down, turning around and coming back and getting her. She's already rushing herself because she doesn't have that spontaneous desire that you do where you're like ready to go. She doesn't have that. She needs to be warmed up, and her arousal ladder moves more slowly than yours because she's got to get all that blood flow filled in. That's number one. Number two is environment is very, very important to a woman. So one of the ways that you also create trust that begets surrender, and she'll really let go and allow herself to get into her super slutty, really turned on state, which is the state you want her to get in and she wants to get in. And that is that she needs the environment to be really nice. I call that the lover space, setting the lover space. I actually have a free guide that has a checklist. Dudes love checklists, Carrie. They love them. Let me get that for you.
Yeah, please.
I know. Isn't that so funny? It's called, it's right here. The Orgasmic Fantastic Sex Date. It's at loverspacetips.com. It's a PDF that you download that has an entire checklist of all the stuff that you can do to create the environment, loverspacetips.com, that will allow her to surrender to her orgasmic ecstasy with you. And I won't go into what they are, but if you get that, and you ask and you just lay that shit in, it makes it super easy for her to just relax. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I just want to take a moment because for those of you watching the YouTube, you saw Susan put her glasses on, pull out her list of domains and businesses she owns because she is a hell of an entrepreneur and runs multiple millions and millions of dollars worth of, companies in her sphere. And it's like, I just want you to realize what's her slutty pink stilettos on right now. And her gloves. Like, this is definitely a YouTube. If you're listening to only the audio, go to the YouTube for sure. But I just want you to recognize, like, she's not only like a beast in the boardroom, but just a boss babe in the bedroom. And it's like, she's got the whole package. But I just know the Happy Hustlers are all about, putting the happy in their everyday hustle, both personally and professionally. And that's why I really just, love having you on because you embody the Happy Hustle spirit. You got to bust out just to get the domain right of all your companies, So anyway, I had to say that.
I know.
It's so awesome.
I know. I have the world's best URLs. I mean,
no,
they
really
are
do.
Really, if there was an award for the greatest collection of URLs in the universe, it would be Susan Bratton that owns these.
Well, give us like
I love URLs.
Give us your top 3 URLs, just like, because they are really juicy. You could write a course on copywriting too, by the way, if you haven't already.
3licks.com is my blowjob secret book. And the technique is called 3 Little Licks, how to get a blowjob. I have a really cute sex position called Come Full Circle. Another one that I like is Hot to Trot book. The Stallion Secret. That's a how to stay hard.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what are some other ones? Dicklifter.com. That's one that, I think is funny because it's about, it's a device that you use to regenerate new penile tissue at home. Another one that I love is, Thrust in Time, like just in time, but it's thrust in time. And that's that Taoist technique I was talking to you about. That's like the intercourse technique that makes women beg you to have more sex with them. And I would love to talk a little bit more about that, but I want to stay in this kind of like, how do you create the trust? So the other thing that is really important around trust. So you're going to keep her safe from STIs and getting pregnant. You're going to set the lover space. You're going to be present and stop trying to just like immediately go to intercourse. You're going to slow your roll and slow her roll because she's so used to dealing with guys that are just trying to have intercourse with her that she thinks that's what's right because she's literally never had good sex before where she's never gotten on that upward pleasure spiral, that helix, that double helix with someone. She feels like great sex is eluding her. And she keeps hoping it's going to be you, and then it's not. And then she wants less and less sex. So these foundational things are super important because arousal sits in a foundation of relaxation. Like a lot of guys think I've got to push her buttons and spin her knobs to get her turned on. The thing is, what gets her more turned on faster is actually slowing down. A guy wrote to me and he was like, man, thank you so much for that sex tip you gave me. That did the trick. She came harder and better than she's ever come. And I'm like, what trick? I got a lot of tricks. And, he goes, I slowed down. And I'm like, dude, that's not actually a trick, but good for you. But it really, I mean, in a way, it is a trick because it goes against the natural masculine inclination to forge ahead, single-minded, heat-seeking moisture missile, right? And so she needs that time to slow down, to let the blood flow into her pelvis. The other really important piece is being the guy that she can say anything to. So not getting rocked by anything, not caving, not losing, not feeling like your ego gets bruised when she gives you feedback. I understand that in the masculine paradigm, you guys are all in this bullshitty pecking order where if you're not up, you're down. And it's very binary. It's very black and white. It's very hard for you guys to feel like if you've done something wrong, you feel like a loser. Your ego is really fragile compared to women. Women do not have that same issue. We have other issues. We have fear, and safety is our number one issue because we are the prey and you guys are the predators. And that's just how the animal kingdom works in the Homo sapien world. And you have to compensate for that by being the guy that is not only safe, but sexy AF. So we're going to get into how you make it sexy, but I'm not going to tell you how to make it sexy till you make it safe. You must be the safety man. We need the safety man. And here's the thing with lady parts. They are delicate. We get things. We get the STIs. We get the vaginal infections. Our tissue gets thin as we get older. We're the ones that have to carry the babies. Like there's just a lot of delicacy to the female body. And we're on a 28-day cycle, which means that what we wanted yesterday isn't what we want today. And so you have to understand that though you live in a fairly steady state physiology comparatively to your female-bodied partners, you have to compensate for the fact that every day we want a little something different. I'm holding up a little kitty cat here on the YouTube channel. And this kitty cat is really my representation of the feminine because she's a little pussy cat and she likes to be stroked from the top down, and she needs a lot of petting to purr, but it can't be against the fur. We're fussy. And sometimes we are lionesses, and sometimes we're all like, arr, arr, arr. And other times we are just, we take off our little lioness outfit. Here I'm taking it off, and we are just little kitties. And in a single lovemaking session, we could go from kitty to lioness, and you have to be able to roll with that. We are just so flowy, and we just need you to work around any problems that we have, which is another thing I want to tell you is that even if your partner has like a physical issue, like, you know what, I've got my period, or I like period sex. I think it's really good. And you should encourage women to have sex on their period because I think it makes the vaginal canal and the vulva extra slippery and full and delicious and feels really good. It's just a little bit of blood. It's nothing. So don't shy away from that if you can help it. But it could be she had a yeast infection, or you had sex yesterday and she took a pounding and it was too much and she's real delicate today, or whatever it could be. But there's always workarounds. And that's another mindset I want you to bring into the bedroom is, I'm willing to deal with whatever it is. I'm going to play it as it lays right here. It's like golf. Wherever your ball is on the green, you pick the right clubs out of your bag and you use the right tools and you get it done. And you always get that ball in the cup. but you've got to use different tools depending on how the ball lays.
Yep.
So you want to know how the ball lays. You need that information so you can pull the right clubs. This is a good analogy, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, good. I'm hoping, because sports analogies are really out of my domain.
No, you're crushing this one.
Excellent. So the strategy to figure out what clubs you need is to ask her what's going on with her. And what you want to do is you want to get your woman to tell you anything and everything all the time, in and out of the bedroom. And especially in the bedroom, what you want to do is realize that she lives in an animal body that's changing constantly, and you're much more steady state. So you need her to tell you what she wants, what she needs, how she's doing, what would feel good. Does she need to be held first? Does she just want whatever she wants, right? And that actually makes it really fun to have sex with her when you encourage her to just be like, what's on your mind? What feels good? Need a foot rub, back rub? Need your yoni massage? Do you want to try a new sex toy? Do you want to dress up in this lingerie I bought you and do a little dance for me? Like, where are you today? How can I meet you where you are and take you higher? And that when she feels like you're the guy that can literally, you can say anything to, like, well, I'm having my period and I really want to have sex, but it's the day when the blood kind of gets a little clotty. And so if you don't mind keeping a dark towel by you and giving me a yoni massage to get started, and if a little bloody thing comes out, can you just wipe it off and not even say anything? Because I don't even want to know, but I don't want you to get grossed out by it, but I'd like to, that's what I feel like my yoni wants. Yoni being the tantric lovemaking word for the vulva, the female genital system. Lingam is the penis. Yoni is the vagina, but we don't use vagina because that's just one part of her. We're thinking about the whole big thing. So, if she can say that to you, like something that would potentially embarrass her, like, oh, there's going to be like things that look like snot blood. Okay, no worry, babe. I got you. Snot blood be gone. I got this handled. No problem. Then she feels like she can release. She can just be herself, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about guys. You guys are really, blood doesn't bother you. Stuff doesn't bother you. You just want to have fun. And women are worried that they need to be perfect. And so the more you can have her like just tell you everything, and your answer is always, got it. Thank you, baby. How's this? I hear you. No problem. And you don't get rocked. She'll just start telling you everything. And when she shows up knowing she can ask for anything she wants, she starts asking for some really fun things you'd never have thought of. The way you encourage your woman to be ruthlessly sexually self-expressed is by being the man who is eating up all the things she has to say and all the requests she wants to make. So that's a big one. And then there's another really big piece of it. This is another strategy. It's a seduction strategy. And these are all just things you start doing that by the time you get into lovemaking are really, really opening her and getting her trusting and getting her connected to you and feeling like you're the one man, the one guy she can actually relax and possibly have great sex with you. This is it. And it comes from my Seduction Trilogy program. It's at seductiontrilogy.com. It's 3 short books and 3 audio book versions. If you like to listen, I like to listen and listen to them multiple times.
Whoa. Apologies for interrupting your programming. But I have to tell you, the best investment you can make in yourself is one in which helps you acquire skills. You've probably heard people talk about, just invest in yourself and you'll be successful. Yes, that's true to a degree, but you have to invest in skills that will ultimately help you achieve your desired results. And I think one of the best skills one can possess, be it an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, is the sales sword. Really knowing how to sell, utilizing pressure-free persuasion, which will make you more money and more impact. Now, if you want to know how to sell more efficiently and effectively, I just launched a sales course called The Proven Roadmap Process to Selling Millions of Dollars and helping you to increase your conversions guaranteed. And you can get access to this new sales course that The Happy Hustle is launching at thehappyhustle.com/sales. And if you act fast, you'll get it at the lowest price it'll ever be available, because we are launching it and we want to gain amazing testimonials and social proof to further share this knowledge. So if you act fast, you can get it at the lowest price it'll ever be. That's at thehappyhustle.com/sales. Now let's get back to this episode.
Seductiontrilogy.com. That's one of my programs that I've published from one of my mentors, Dr. Patty Taylor, that teaches men the 4 keys to seduction. And in a nutshell, what it does is it teaches you how to see where she is, understand what she might desire, and then slowly get her on the yes train. You want to make her small offers that she can keep saying yes to, that accelerate. So you move her from nervous, she's worried, performance anxiety, et cetera, that she has, not turned on yet, worried she can keep up, worried she's going to come, worried she looks fat. Like, women worry because estrogen is the molecule of safety. So we are naturally worried about shit that doesn't even occur to you. And so the more that you can give her small offers and she gets a yes, would you like a foot rub? You look beautiful. Would you like to try on this lingerie? Would you like a glass of Chardonnay? What lube do you want to use? Whatever it might be, wherever she is. When you start getting her to go, oh yes, I want that. Oh yes, I'd love a breast massage. Oh yes, I'd love to wear these hot pink sparkly stripper shoes for you. Whatever it is. Then she's saying yes, and you make her bigger and bigger offers. It's a really good strategy, and I give you very specific examples of exactly what to do so that you can just start working that strategy, and it works like a charm. It's what women need that guys miss because you're way out ahead of us. So that's how you create this trust and the safety, so that you can use all the techniques that make you a really great lover. So we can move there if you want to, or, wherever you want to go, Carrie, I am putty in your hands.
Well, I do want to just kind of echo the points that you said that really are just golden nuggets. One was talking about like those micro yeses, like even in sales, when you're in your business, you get these nonverbal and verbal, like you're nodding your head right now, those nonverbal and verbal, cues. That is what Susan's talking about, like that buildup where you're getting those small confirmations and you're progressing in a positive direction towards the intimacy you desire. So I think that's a really key piece that I'm so glad you mentioned it, that sexualtrilogy.com, correct? We're going to link all these up in the show notes. Seductiontrilogy.com. That is a really great piece. And yeah, I think it'd be fantastic to parlay this second half into how to become better lovers. I mean, why, now we're here, we don't want to drop the ball, Susan. So what do we do from here?
Yeah. So there's a couple of really important things. One is, and actually, Carrie, I'm almost thinking that I should come back for a second episode of this.
I agree. Yeah. Time's sake.
It's a lot to take in. And I really want to cover hot sex in a much more I want to walk you, just like I've walked you through. Oh, okay. There's the communication, being able to take anything else, setting the lover space, getting the STI, giving the small, these are like the foundation. But then there's also foundations for sex. So because we only have a little bit more time, let me go fairly top level. And then if you want me to come back for a deeper dive, I can do that anytime. It's no problem. We've worked in the past together. We're not stopping now, are we, Carrie?
Nope.
So, there's a couple of things that I want you to think about with regard to being great in bed. One is that you have to start from the outside and work your way into the creamy center. And this goes against everything that is inside of you as a man, because men like to hit the bullseye the first time. You have a heat-seeking moisture missile in your pants that's hard and you're ready to go. I love that heat-seeking moisture missile.
That's so good.
I've been saying that for 50 years now,
That's just so good.
I know, it's so cute, isn't it? Yeah, I think I learned that in grade school back in the
I hope you
60s.
trademarked that. I mean, that's just too good.
No, it's just a thing. It's a known thing.
Oh, I need a t-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I wanted to let you know I started a merch store.
What?
I literally have, yes, because I had this fantasy. I have a lot of fantasies. And this is another thing I want to talk about in making the hot sex. I have a lot of fantasies, and one of them is that my poster, a sexy poster of me, is hanging in your gym, garage, workshop, tool shed. I don't care where. And so I have posters, towels, like sport towels and beach towels, and notebooks with my gorgeous photos on them. And some of them are topless and some of them are also nude.
Whoa.
And Carrie, I'm 61 years old.
I know. And first of all, I just want to mention, like, you look like you've gotten younger. I don't know what the heck your secret is. I know you do a lot of sexual biohacking, but she's reversing her age and beauty. It's amazing. I mean, you're getting like, that should be a book in and of itself. But yeah, where do we get these posters for all the guys out there who, and you should put sex tips on there. That would be like if you have this framework where it's just like boom, 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 that would be even. Oh, okay. They are. So there you go. You already know.
I have some of my top sellers there. I think Blowjob Secret's there, and the Seduction Trilogy is there, and My Relationship Magic is there. But it's at susangear.com. Okay. And that's my dirty store. I have a clean store, but I can't remember the URL. Nobody wants that shit. Everybody wants the boobs.
That is hilarious. Yeah, I definitely think.
I know, but so.
Well, we got to bring you back on because, like, for time's sake, I know. It's too much for all the happy hustlers to really go deep. And I want you to go deep and not just like keep it surface level, because
I want to go deep.
I bet you do. And I think it's important to go deep. And if we just are doing like in one ear, out the other, taking a couple little things, it's not going to produce the results. So let's kind of do a recap on the trust and the safety. And, now we're getting into the seduction stage, which is plenty for the happy hustlers to be utilizing in the interim. But then I do want to get into the rapid fire round, and then we'll wrap this interview up. So just in terms of like the place where we're at now, to become a better lover, we have to build the trust. We have to make sure that we're listening, we're being present, we're doing those small micro commitments with our partner to enhance the the situation towards a positive intimate experience. But I think then you get into the outside in. Just put a bow on that piece, because I think that's one piece that, like, maybe we have these moisture missiles in our pants, and it's hard to go outside if we want to go right for the bullseye, like you said. So put a bow on that piece, and then we'll kind of wrap it up with, the strongest call to action in regards to all these different components.
Yeah. So the bullseye touch technique is what I'm going to tell you. And the reason that I brought up the Susan Gear piece of it and the fact that I was 61 is that, I think it's really important. It's what I was really going to do was make the point that your sex life can keep getting better your whole life long. And I started out with, why do I look so young? Why do I look like a super young? Why do I look 10 years younger than all my cohorts, maybe 20? Is because I'm having great sex all the time. And it's fueling my creativity, my passion, and my lust for my life. And so this is the benefit of it, is that when a woman is encouraged, I didn't turn out this way myself. I turned out this way because my husband encourages me to live full out. He wants me to celebrate my beauty, my sexuality, to feel comfortable with myself, to love my body. And that's the thing that women need. We need encouragement. So if you notice everything that I've told you so far that creates trust and safety, it is also encouraging her and setting the tone for her surrender to pleasure with you. Right. So all of the small offers, all of the, I've got the right lube, the place is, the room is beautiful. All those pieces Allow her to feel like she can trust you. You cannot underestimate the importance of safety for women. And because guys don't even think of it, it doesn't enter into their thoughts. The other piece is that we're so used to being manhandled because guys have that goal orientation. They want to grab our boob. They want to grab our yoni, grab them by the pussy, right? I mean, that's like a thread in our universe now. And it is the what not to do. You want us to put our hand on your penis right away. So for you women who are listening, put your hand on him. He needs that to calm himself down. We don't want you to grab us by the pussy. We want you to hold us and work from the outside in, stroke our hair, kiss our cheeks, kiss our forehead, brush your lips on our lip. Don't stick your tongue in our mouth. Don't grab our boobs, brush our clavicles, our collarbones, the top part of our breasts, our belly. Stroke our ass, stroke our thighs, rub our feet. Tell us we're beautiful. Tell us you desire us. Tell us that you love it when we just enjoy ourselves. Allow us to relax. The verbal leading is very, very, very important for us. We need adoration and encouragement.
Yeah.
You need to know you're respected for a job well done. So for you to get the job well done, you must adore and encourage us. If you just adore us for both sexy things and for how smart we are. Don't just objectify us. We need the balance of those two things to feel more valuable and desired and wanted. And what you'll notice over time as you touch us from the outside in instead of the inside out, you slowly work your way toward our yoni. There's a couple of things. There's like this system in the female body that is our lips, tongue, and mouth, our breasts and nipples, our vulva, both the outside all the way around, not just the tip of the clit and not just inside our vagina, but then also inside our vagina, the roof, the G spot, the cervix and beyond the cervix, the A spot, the P spot, all these different areas. What you want is to think about the vagina not as a canal, an inside out dick. It's not like a sheath, even though sounds like, they call it a canal. Vagina is originally the word for sheath. That was all male shit. That's all men that named that shit. It's a little flat pocket that's closed. And when she gets really, really turned on, it opens up and blooms like a flower. You want to allow her body the time and the stimulation to allow her yoni to open like a flower and bloom. When you go too fast, right in, every single time you do that, it's another brick in the wall of your future sexless relationship with that woman because you've penetrated her too quickly and she's been penetrated by every other guy too quickly. So you want to kiss her, tell her she's beautiful, stroke her back and her arms, stroke her clavicle and her breast. Don't just go right for the nipples, but the nipples are the key and the mouth and the nipples are the key to opening her yoni up. So you want to slowly get those things in. And then if, for example, her yoni's broken and it doesn't feel good and she doesn't want penetration that day, that should not be a reason why you don't quote unquote have sex. Sex is not intercourse. Sex is intimate connection. One of my very favorite things to do is to lie down with my lover and to make out with them. And they play with my boobs and kiss me while I stroke their cock. And that is a real turn on. You can have so much fun just kissing, just making out, playing with her nipples, getting her turned on before you even move to her yoni. You want to really take your time. And it's just the whole notion of slowing down. The next time I come back, I want to talk about something I call my dope flow sex date. And I'd also like to talk about some oral and some intercourse techniques, very specific things that will reframe your entire approach to sex. So I think that would be a really good kind of core thing we could talk about the
Yeah.
next time. But all of these things are really aren't they like mindset shifts in your
For sure.
approach to sex? You want her to always want to be intimate with you because you want her not to think that intimacy has to mean penetration. You'll net more penetration and at the end of the month, week, or year by taking the approach that penetration's not the goal, and she has to want it and ask for it, and not out of obligation. You have to get her to stop feeling obligated to having intercourse with you. Then she'll start wanting to, and she'll start coming from it. That's the other thing I want to talk about on the next episode is how to get her to have reliable, consistent, orgasmic ecstasy from intercourse alone.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the Rosetta Stone to super hot, monogamous, consistently great sex that gets on the upward pleasure spiral.
Wow. I mean, come on. That was amazing. I hope all the happy hustlers, didn't get too awkward when we're going deep talking about this stuff, because we're all human and it's part of our life.
Oh, no,
and
people can handle it.
Yeah. I hope that this is just
people can handle it.
Yeah. But I hope they actually take this in insight and advice and utilize it, with their lovers. And really, one thing I just want to leave everyone with is that adoration and encouragement. That's a really great takeaway. Just adore and encourage your partners and be that safe space and keep on happy hustling, both personally and professionally. Susan, this has been amazing. We are going to definitely do part 2. What is the best place for people? Is it, at Susan Bratton on your Instagram? Where do you want people to go? Your website? What's the best place for them to learn more about you? I know you gave some amazing links, but is there one place specific?
Oh, any place. I have a sex tips email newsletter that I think you should get on, because then you hear about kind of all the stuff all the time. You get a few emails a week from me with sex tips. And you can get to that from betterlover.com. You can get to that from susanbratton.com. You can slide into my DMs at Susan Bratton on Instagram. I'm on OnlyFans @/Susan Bratton. So there's lots of ways to reach me. I'm available, and I honestly answer everybody's requests, because that's what's made me good at what I do, is listening to people's stories and where they got stuck, offering them advice, and then they get unstuck and they're like, holy shit, that was awesome. What else do you have?
Exactly.
Thank you for having me again, darling. It's always so good to see you, and you're such a great host, and I love you so much. Thank you.
Love you too. Thank you so much again. And I just want to acknowledge you for sharing your love, your light, your wisdom. Last question. I end every interview. What does happy hustling mean to you?
Oh gosh, happy hustling to me means coming up with super fun, hot sex dates with my lovers, and telling them the things that I think would be fun, and giving them great ideas for good times, and seeing them light up from it.
Amazing. We're going to do the rapid fire round on the next episode. I know you have to jet.
Yeah,
this
good.
has been amazing, Susan. Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you all for watching and listening. Peace and love. We are out.